It's been 2 days since Congressman-elect Greg Gianforte was sentenced for his misdemeanor assault. MTN's Morgan Davies sat down today with Gianforte to talk about his sentencing and his role as Montana's lone representative.
I'm really excited about getting back to D.C. and working to serve the people of Montana.
Gianforte's focus since his assault on Ben Jacobs has been to move forward. But many people have a lingering question about that night.
Talk a little bit about that press release that came out the night of the assault.
I think at this point it's really important that we, I've taken responsibility for my actions, and I've extended an apology to Ben Jacobs. He's accepted it, and he has said he wants to move on, and I'd like to do that as well.
As much as Gianforte wants to move on, the assault is going to follow him right to Washington, D.C.
I've been mentally preparing for this for a long time.
And the congressman-elect has already hit the ground running to start working for Montanans.
Reaching out to our supporters and associations and starting to build a coalition to put a game plan together.
That specific game plan?
So I've been reaching out to various groups in the state, the stock growers, the grain growers, the home builders, sportsmen's groups and others, because I need to understand what's important to them.
And what are some of the things that you want to be able to have freed up to be able to do more for Montana?
Well, one example, I was talking to a county commissioner, and there's a new proposed rule coming out of the EPA that would require every time we go out and grade a road in Montana, we'd have to have a watering truck as well. That would mean 2 pieces of equipment, 2 operators, just to keep some dust down. And the reality is this would cut in half the road maintenance budget for every county in Montana. That just doesn't make any sense. So it's not hard to find these rules that are having negative impact. I'm going to go to work for Montana, and hopefully we can peel them back.
Gianforte has also begun to put his advisory committees together.
It's going to be veterans, business, healthcare, agriculture, natural resources, and the tribes. So I'll have a committee in each area, and I look forward to establishing them. We have not extended formal invitations yet, but I've started discussions with many of the groups to say this is the direction we're heading.
And finally, from 2 campaigns, a downfall that no one expected, to getting elected and going to Washington, what do you feel, have you learned anything about yourself through this process?
Oh, there's always lessons to be learned. I think the 2 things is, as I've traveled the state, I've now driven 80,000 miles all over the state and stayed in people's homes. I've fallen deeper in love with Montana. That's number 1. And the second thing, this isn't a new lesson, but I've relearned that I'm human and we all make mistakes. And I think we just need to pick ourselves up and go forward.
In Bozeman, Morgan Davies, MTN News.
The election is set to be certified